Wonderful. Welcome, everyone. And again, thank you for your patience as we had to resolve some technical difficulties. Welcome to the CUNY SPH 2025 Candidates Forum, where you will get to hear from those who are running for positions on the Graduate Student Government Association, or GSGA, and the Governance Council and committees. And we will begin with our first candidate. And we're going through all of them in alphabetical order. So some of our candidates are here in person or here in the Zoom in person. And then we will alternate between those who have sent a recorded message. And we will also post bios in the chat for those who were not able to send us a recording. And at the end, we hope to leave time for any questions. And we have some of our current members here who can also tell you a little bit about their positions and what they do. But we'll save that for the end for sake of time.
Hello all, my name is Rubaya Anika and I'm doing MPH with concentration in epidemiology and biostatistics. I am going to be running for Master's Senator as well as the Officer for Health Equity and Advocacy. I believe that I am fit for these roles based on my prior experience working in student government in my bachelor's degree, as well as because I believe I have the ability to connect the student body with the greater administration and the greater CUNY SPH community. And I would be doing so through monthly check-ins as well as having forums where students can voice their suggestions and changes that they would like to advocate for. Thank you all, and I hope and I look forward to working with SGA in the future. Thank you.
Is this the next in order? James?
Sorry, my computer is freezing. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. But is this the next candidate, George, or is there another one in the room?
Chung is next, and I am going to put them in the chat, but then I'm going to play George now.
All right, well, let's give a moment for people to see Chung in the chat. Unfortunately, we'll have to read it aloud for the recording, okay? Once you put it in the chat. And maybe stop sharing screen so people don't think the person they're seeing is. Thank you. I don't know.
1 second.
Okay.
I'm just going to read it. I don't know why it's not loading in the chat. I'm just going to have to read it. It's giving me an error message to put in the chat. My name is Courtney. I was born and raised in New York. I completed my undergrad studies in biology and public health at Boston College. During my time there, I served on campus activity board where I learned that leadership is not just about organizing events, but about fostering environments where students feel valued and supported. My experience with peer health exchange also brought my understanding of the diverse challenges students face and the importance of listening to their individual needs and experiences. Now, as a community health master's student at the School of Public Health, I want to apply these experiences to improve the graduate student experience. Graduate students often encounter challenges that are not always addressed by the university, such as navigating the pressures of academics, personal life, and career development. I believe student government is a key platform to advocate for practical solutions to these challenges, whether it's securing more mental health resources, improving access to career development programs, or creating spaces for students to build meaningful connections outside of the classroom. I want to be a part of the Graduate Student Government Association because I believe that real change happens when students are not just represented, but are actively involved in shaping the decisions that affect them. I'm interested in creating a more inclusive, transparent, and supportive environment where students feel empowered to voice their concerns, knowing that their feedback will lead to tangible action. My goal is to continue to an academic culture where students have the resources they need to succeed both personally and professionally.
Thank you.
Hold on one second. Is Ryan Chan in the chat? Is he here in the room?
I don't see them. Was Ryan expected?
Yes, he is running and he just sent me a chat. I
Okay,
will
then we'll go
play.
back. Let's move
Yeah.
on to the next. Yes.
My name is Jada Shores, and I am currently pursuing my Master of Public Health in Health Policy and Management here at CUNY SPH. I'm honored to be running for the position of student representative on the Committee for Equity and Inclusion, a role that aligns deeply with my values, lived experiences, and long-term commitment to justice and public health and beyond. I am a first-generation college student raised in a West Indian household that taught me the importance of resilience, humility, and community. As someone navigating academic and professional spaces that were never originally designed with people like me in mind, I've had to advocate not just for myself, but for others like me, those whose stories, struggles, and identity don't always make it to the forefront. That's exactly why I'm running, because I believe that equity and inclusion aren't just buzzwords, they're ongoing practices that require intention, accountability, and student voices at the table. My background includes experience in public health, political advocacy, and grassroots organizing. I've worked on campaigns that center healthcare access and mental health equity, and I've engaged in projects focused on underserved populations here in New York City. Through these experiences, I've developed the skill to listen actively, speak thoughtfully, and bring people together around shared goals. If elected to the Committee for Equity and Inclusion, I will serve as a bridge between students and leadership, making sure that our concerns are heard, our ideas are elevated, and our differences are celebrated, not just tolerated. My vision for SPH is a school that doesn't just talk about diversity, but fully embodies it in its curriculum, policy, faculty representation, and student support system. I want to work towards expanding culturally responsive mental health resources, especially for students of color, international students, and those who face systemic barriers to care. I also want to work towards creating safe spaces and listening sessions where students from marginalized groups can share their concerns without fear of judgment or dismissal. I would like to encourage more inclusive policy making, where student input is not just an afterthought, but a driving force in decision making. I also want to work towards collaborating with other student organizations to co-host events and initiatives that spotlight intersectionality and lived experiences across race, gender, sexuality, class, and ability. Ultimately, I believe in lifting as we climb. I want to build a culture where every student feels empowered to show up fully and lead boldly, knowing they belong. Representation matters, community matters, and with your support, I will work every day to make SPH a place where equity is practiced, not just promised. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to the opportunity to serve you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica and I'm currently pursuing my MPH in Health Policy and Management. I'm running to be your next GSGA president and I'm incredibly excited about the opportunity to represent and advocate for all of you. This past year, I served as the communications officer for GSGA, where I took on a variety of tasks and roles. And that role gave me a front row seat into the strengths of our student community, but also opened my eyes to some of the gaps that exist. Beyond my role in the GSGA, I bring experience as a researcher, an EMT, and a passionate student leader, and I'm ready to build upon that by continuing to serve you this time as president. CUNY SPH is a relatively young school, only established in 2007, and yet we've already accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. That's something we should be proud of, but it also means that we're building our own identity still. We have the unique opportunity to pave the way forward, to create new traditions, a stronger system, and a school culture that truly reflects who we are and what we value. I want CUNY SPH to be a place that students can proudly call home, where your voices are heard, where your experiences are valued, and where you're surrounded by a community that enables you to grow. As president, I want to lead with action, and specifically, I have 4 key priority areas that I would like to focus on. First is better communication. We need a more streamlined, user-friendly way to stay updated on events, deadlines, opportunities, and resources without the confusion of scattered emails and links. Second, a more collaborative approach across CUNY. I'd love to create more opportunities to connect with students at other CUNY campuses, whether through shared events, research, or networking spaces. Third, a stronger platform to raise student concerns. Whether it's about fees, class structure, or non-academic support, students deserve to be heard, and I want to ensure that your voices reach the right people. Finally, a real meaningful opportunities need to be created and cultivated here at CUNY SPH. I want to help build spaces where we can connect with each other and grow professionally. In conclusion, CUNY SPH is filled with brilliant, driven, and passionate students, and we deserve a school and student government that reflects that. As your president, I'll lead with passion and action. Thank you so much, everyone, and I will be honored to have your vote.
I believe next is Michelle.
Hi all. My name is Michelle. I'm currently a first-year MPH student on EPI's BIOS track, and this is my second semester at the school. I'm interested in running for the Graduate Student Government Association's Master Senator position, as well as being part of the EPI BIOS Department representative or the Faculty Student Disciplinary Committee representative. I do have a background working in public health settings as a researcher, as well as in healthcare settings in the clerical side of things, as well as a direct clinical side of things, which allowed me to hear from a diverse amount of perspectives and collaborate among various different team members of different backgrounds. And I hope to bring that perspective as a representative in each of these associations to be able to facilitate teamwork, communication, as well as represent the student body. My goals for running are because I'm interested in supporting the student body at large, representing a diverse amount of opinions and perspectives to best support the school, especially each student that comes to CUNY and as well as support the CUNY SPH school as well. I hope to be able to help my classmates and support their needs, especially by representing them and being able to be a voice of support and encouragement during their journey here. And lastly, I have kind of an open mind when it comes to people from different backgrounds, and I hope to kind of facilitate kind of more diverse collaboration across the school. And that's why I'm running for these positions. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next in the room, we have Chinasa.
Hi, my name is Chinasa Mbanugo, and I am pursuing my MPH concentrating in epidemiology and biostatistics. I am running for 5 positions: Master Senator, JC Departmental Student Representative, JC Degree Program Student Representative, JC Student Alternate, and the Committee for Equity and Inclusion. I'm running for these positions because I want to be actively involved in finding solutions to the problems that are most present within our student body. I'm a detail-oriented and solution-oriented person with a background in different leadership roles, such as orientation leader and resident advisor during my undergraduate studies. Because of this, I am accustomed to not only planning events, but also helping students with an array of different problems, engaging with my community, and fostering an environment where students feel empowered to voice their opinions and express themselves fully. I've seen firsthand how effective advocacy and thoughtful programming can completely transform a student's experience. I'm very eager to continue contributing to my school environment and my peers through being in the GSGA or GC. My vision for SPH is to address food insecurity with a dedicated SPH pantry, build community through virtual engagement, and strengthen ties with Central and East Harlem. While CUNY has food pantries on other campuses, there isn't a food pantry that's fully dedicated to servicing SPH students. However, I think it would be very beneficial for there to be a pop-up food pantry on a bi-weekly or monthly rotation that can help support our students struggling with food insecurity, especially at a time where food prices are rising. A program like this would serve to promote mental and physical health by reducing the financial constraints students face. In addition, it would reduce anxiety and increase the physical well-being of those struggling with food insecurity, while also demonstrating an institutional commitment to equity and inclusion, since those who are multiply marginalized are most likely to struggle with food insecurity. Not only would a program like this make a difference in the lives of SPH students, but it would also help to foster a supportive and inclusive campus culture. Second, many of our students are fully online, and others face accessibility barriers due to disability, health concerns, or distance. To foster connection, I'll advocate for regular socially geared virtual events. Some ideas for more frequent virtual socials include movie nights, game nights, and icebreaker activities at the start of semesters so that virtual students can get to know each other. I would advocate for monthly virtual movie nights as well as inclusion of different game nights at least twice a month. More virtual events would allow all students to save on travel costs and create a more open environment where students, regardless of ability or geographic location, can feel a part of the SPH community. Virtual socials can help students form friendships, study groups, and professional relationships while bettering mental health by combating loneliness and stress to reduce burnout and foster peer support. Lastly, I would like to find more ways for all students to be more engaged in Central and East Harlem, which can be done by partnering with community-based organizations who need volunteers and connecting SPH students with these volunteer opportunities. It is really important to remain engaged with the community whose space we're in, and we should try to be as beneficial as possible towards them. A program like this would build trust between the wider community and SPH by helping them gain access to enthusiastic volunteers who are eager to connect with the local community by helping address pressing local needs, encouraging a culture of volunteering, and by creating long-term partnerships that continually serve the Central and East Harlem community, while helping SPH students gain hands-on learning, leading to a notable local impact. Regardless of the position I may end up occupying, I enjoy doing outreach, talking to new people, creating safe and equitable environments, listening to and advocating for multiply marginalized students, and making meaningful connections and servicing a wide and diverse community. Whether it's fighting for basic needs, creating inclusive spaces, or bridging gaps between students and the community, I'm committed to taking actionable steps towards progress. I promise to be a diligent representative, a collaborative problem solver, and a fierce advocate for all students. Thank you.
Thank you, Chinasa. And we're just going to go back because we have Ryan, who just joined us, Ryan Chan. And then after Ryan, we will have Jevonay. And then after Jevonay, we will go to Raymond. Ryan, you're up.
I'm up next. Oh,
Yep.
okay. Sorry about that. Um, okay. All right. Are we being timed? Are we being timed here? Because I know the time frame is within 3 to 4 minutes. So I tried to kind of like keep it under that
I'm
time
not
frame.
timing, but if you could just start, I'm sure you can
All
monitor
right.
time, but I'm not timing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, hi everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Chen, and I'm currently a Master of Public Health student at CUNY Graduate School of Public Health. My concentration is healthcare policy management. And I'm excited to run for the roles. There are quite a few roles that I'm open up to, either Vice President, Masters, or Certificate Senator for the Graduate Student Government Association for the 2024-2025 academic year. It's been a privilege to be a part of the school like SPH that champions social justice, equity, and public health innovation. And I'm eager to contribute meaningfully to our community. CUNY SPH stands out because of its commitment to not only preparing the next generation of public health professionals, but also tackling systematic issues affecting health in New York City and beyond. It's a school that values student voices, experiential learning, and pushing boundaries. What I admire most is how SPH empowers students from all walks of life, many of whom are first generation like myself, immigrants, working professionals, or caregivers, because we understand that diversity of lived experience is a strength and not a limitation. Before joining SPH, I served as a student government president at York College, representing over 6,500 students from diverse backgrounds. That role taught me the importance of listening, collaboration, and advocacy. I worked closely with faculty and administration, sat on the auxiliary and association boards, and reviewed and voted on budget proposals that directly impacted student services and programs. From pushing for increased access to mental health resources to organizing inclusive campus events, my focus was always on creating a space where all students felt valued and supported. At SPH, I want to take that experience and use it to continue advocating for a more engaged, connected, and empowered student body. My vision for SPH is centered around three core pillars: community, accessibility, leadership development. First, I want to build a strong connection among students across all concentrations, certificate programs, and learning formats, whether online, in person, or hybrid. Too often, we operate in silos, but I believe we're missing valuable opportunities to learn from one another's experiences and perspectives. But by organizing an interdisciplinary events, mentorship programs, and town halls, we can foster a sense of belonging that extends beyond the classroom. Second, I'm deeply committed to making SPH a more accessible and inclusive space. That means advocating for increased resources for students, balancing full-time jobs, family responsibilities of our life transitions. It also means pushing for a transparent community from administration, especially around decisions that impact students, and ensuring that every student has access to support they need to thrive academically, professionally, and personally. Third, I believe we need to invest in student leadership development. SPH attracts individuals who are already leaders in their communities and workplaces. As a part of the student government, I want to create more opportunities for students to grow leadership skills through public speaking, workshops, policy advocacy training, network events, and partnerships with public health organizations across NYC. We're in one of the most dynamic cities in the world. Let's leverage that to connect our students with real world opportunities and lasting impact. Above all, I believe student government is about building bridges between students and administration, between passion and policy, between present and future. As someone who knows what it's like to navigate higher education with intersecting identities as first-generation college student, an immigrant and a member, of all the different communities and affinity groups and also, programs involved. I know the importance of having leaders who led with empathy, authenticity, and integrity. So let me leave you with this. If you're looking for someone not only to understand the challenges we face, but is ready to roll up their sleeves and take action, someone who listens and builds and leads with a purpose, I am that someone. And that's why I'm proudly running to serve as maybe your next vice president or masters or certificate senators for the Graduate Student Government Association for the year 2024-2025 academic year. Let's build a stronger, louder, and a more united SPH together. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. And I believe it's Heavenay. I don't want to mess with your name. Heavenay Langley.
Jevanay or
Jevanay,
Jefferson.
I was
Yeah,
right.
fine. Right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jevanay Langley, and I'm a Master of Public Health student here at CUNY, concentrating in health policy and management. I'm running to be a Master Senator because I believe in the power of connection, inclusion, and student leadership. And I want to help build a community where every student feels seen, valued, and empowered to shape the future of public health. My journey into public health began as a peer health exchange volunteer, where I served as a health educator leading workshops in under-resourced high schools in Boston. And that really taught me what public health is really about, which is meeting people where they are, listening deeply, and using education as a tool for equity and empowerment. And one area I'm really passionate about is supporting our online and hybrid student communities as an online student. I believe that these students bring a unique experience and perspective to our school, and we have a real opportunity to deepen their engagement through flexible programming, virtual connection tools, and inclusive leadership pathways. Because true equity to me means showing up for all students, regardless of location or learning format. And I know that for many of us, it's easy to feel a lack of connection and community because we don't yet have that central meeting space that brings us all together. Whether you're online or in person or somewhere in between, building that shared sense of community has to be a priority. And it's imperative that we develop engagement as we await the opening of the new CUNY Science Park and Research Campus in 2027. And I want to use this opportunity to help shape the future of our school and our campus to make sure that as we grow and evolve, we stay rooted in values of access, equity, and community, especially given the current political climate. That means building a culture of transparency, listening to the voices of all students, and ensuring that no one is left behind in the process. And my vision is grounded in the mission of the school, which is to improve health and advance social justice in New York City and around the globe, such as areas with humanitarian crises like Sudan and Gaza. As a master senator, I will work to ensure that the mission isn't just something we say, but something we live every day in how we show up for each other and lead together. If elected, the three things I want to focus on are representation and transparency, so students should know how and why decisions are made, equity and engagement, ensuring every student, whether on campus or online, feels connected and supported, and community building through mentorship, wellness initiatives, and events that unite us across concentrations, backgrounds, and time zones. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jevanay. Next, we have Rema.
Hi everyone, my name is Rima. I'm so glad that there's no time limit because I kind of had like a 10-minute speech in my head, but it's so nice to meet everyone. I am a MPH student concentrating in epidemiology and biostatistics, and I'm also an international student from the Bahamas, so I'm 1,010 miles away from home, and I'm so happy to be here with everyone today. So I graduated from Brooklyn College with a degree in health and nutrition sciences, so I'm a big CUNY girl, and I always bring it up because I feel like people talk down on CUNY, but I'm so grateful for what CUNY schools have done for me and especially my trajectory, even being here right now. So I have experience at Brooklyn College. I was a really big student organizations girl. I had 3 leadership positions. I was in Women of Color, the Asian Student Alliance, and the Public Health and Medicine Club. Obviously, I mean, it's a little on the nose, but of course. And I have a lot of experience leading events, creating events, and we had one that was really close to me. It was a natural hair protective guide. So I'm really big on equity and making sure that we create spaces where everybody feels like they're included, especially as a woman of color. There are so many times you go in a room and you're like the only person there. And I want to make sure that's an experience that no one has to ever go through. Along with being really active as a woman of color in the Public Health and Medicine Club, I also helped and created a student fridge. So when Chinasu was mentioning the food pantry, I was like, wait, that's a great idea, because it's very important for us as public health professionals, and future ones at least, to be active in our communities and to meet the needs where we see them. So I am actually running for vice president of student government and also for an EPI by a student department representative. And the reason why I'm doing it is because in my undergraduate career, I was really on the student organization side of things. And now in my master's career, I've decided I want to kind of go into being in student government, because I realized that there's a completely different world there. And I kind of was upset a lot with student government during undergraduate, because I felt like they weren't listening to students. They weren't actually meeting our needs and weren't doing the things that we needed as student organizations. So I have distilled my campaign into 3 ideas that I think that we need to prioritize. One, making sure that we as student government really foster a sense of connection among students, because this is my first semester on campus, and even walking around and seeing the people, I'm like, wait, there's so many people who come and talk to me and say, well, I'm not sure, I don't know anyone, I haven't spoken to this and that. And it's like so sad to see that there isn't really a place where we can all really join and talk and grow and learn from one another. So I think that we as student government should really foster that connection between students, whether they're online or in person, because it's so important that, especially in this political climate, that we're able to bond together and really understand that public health is important and the roles that we play are important. Secondly, I think it's very important that we listen. Pause for a sec. You guys can hear me all right, right? Yes, because the siren outside is really testing my concentration skills. Secondly, I really hope that we can listen to the students, because I think it's very important to actually hear and meet their needs, because there are so many times, and I felt, like I mentioned before, in student organizations, that we as student leaders had things that we wanted to do. We had events that we wanted to run. We had all these initiatives that we come up with, and then we spend so much time working on them. And student government said, well, we don't have the funding, we don't have this, we don't have that. And I felt like so much of that time, student government was my enemy. And I kind of want to change that thinking, because we're here and we're being elected to serve the students, right? And that's the whole idea, where elected officials aren't just there to do what they want or to have something to put on their resume. It's there so you can meet the needs of the people that you serve. So I think it's really important that we continue to have forums where students can feel like they're being heard and that their ideas are being represented. Third, I really want to make sure that students have the resources that they need to graduate, because I feel like that's something that I've also struggled with, because at Brooklyn College, I was a transfer student. And I ended up working with an organization that was giving resources to transfer students, because so many times, I guess was a lot of CUNY schools that you kind of just show up and you realize that you don't really know where to go. You don't know who to talk to. You don't know what you need to succeed. And I really want to make sure, because I've looked at the resources and I found the resources, but I realized that not everyone has the time. They don't have the energy. They don't have just the wisdom to know what you need to do to find and be the person that you want to become. So I really want to make sure that we're publicizing these resources, these grants, these opportunities, so that students, no matter what level of energy they have, what level of participation they're willing to have, that they can have the best experience that they want, well, that they possibly could have. And that's basically my 3 points. I think I talked like longer than most people, but I'm really excited about doing this. And even if I'm not elected, I really hope to be involved with student government and initiatives that everyone puts forth. So it was so nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Rima. So we will have a video, and then it will be Isabella, then we'll have another video, and then last it would be Milo.
Hello everyone, my name is Chaylin Maso Rodriguez. I'm in the second semester in the Master Program of Community Health. I have experience before being a vice president in the Psychology Student Association in my undergraduate. By that time, with all the limitation of the COVID pandemic, we did community workshop, student activities, and raise funding for the association. My vision here is that I want to be that student representative and make the students' voice be heard by the staff and faculty in this place. Some of the things that I'm looking forward to do is to promote some spaces to socialize a lot more, some spaces to have to do a variety of activities such as karaoke day, like having fun, some petting zoo to relieve stress, like art or creative therapy. That can help us in the mid semester when we are like all stressed out and burnout. That help a lot. So having a space to practice cultural belief, that can be something pretty like I will promoting that because I know that a lot of us have our cultural belief and religious practice to do, and I seen it. I seen it here in the campus that some of the older cultures have to lock themselves in a room to practice their prayers and stuff, so I respect that and I want to promote a safe space for them. I also want a space to practice mental wellness like meditation, breathing exercises, and other stuff like yoga. We can practice a day once a week yoga for a student that can like help us to relieve stress. So that is my vision for SPH. It's for promoting a more welcoming, safe, and comfortable spaces for all the students around and all the students alike. Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. I hope that you can like vote for me. I'll be in almost all the positions except for presidency. So I will looking forward for your votes and have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Now we have Isabella.
Okay, this will be a shorter speech, I guess. I'm not one usually to do very long speeches. And also, I decided to go with what I was feeling, not necessarily prepared a speech. So that's how we will go. I guess first I will talk about, my name is Isabella. I use she, they, ella. I am an international student. I'm a student with multiple disabilities and rare diseases. And I think that brings a lot of experience, and also the experience I've had in undergrad. I was chair of the finance committee of the, not GSGA, SGA, but student government anyways. So finance committee, health committee. I was also president of Take Back the Night and treasurer. I was president and treasurer also for Reproductive Justice Collective. And I was in other leadership positions, but they don't matter as much, I think, for this moment, I will say. And it might be very me to say this, but I am a person that brings reproductive justice into everything I do. I see it as a way of seeing the world. And in that, community is such a centerpiece, building community and understanding your community. And I initially thought of so many ideas that I could have for the government, but I think it's not really my decisions my ideas that matter, is mainly what people want. So my whole idea is that we need to hear more to students. We need to build communities. We need to build bridges between students, administration, staff, because communities what gets us where we are. It's our community of support, is our networks. And you can only advance as much as the person next to you. And I think that only if everyone is feeling comfortable, feeling safe, that's when we can advance as a school. I am running for president, treasurer, and then I forgot which of the committees specifically I am running. I am not going to lie. I tried to look that up and then I had already submitted the form. So I am not, I think it's the equity committed because that's a thing, a passion of mine. what I wanted to say is that I really see CUNY SPH as such a centerpiece and such a leader. And I've recently talked to prospective students that actually reached out to me, some through email, and I don't remember giving my email to anyone, so it was a bit weird. But a couple of prospective students, I've actually been convincing people to come to CUNY SPH, have reached out to me, and whenever we're talking about CUNY, they always ask, like, how is the balance between online and in person? How is the community? How can we, like, how can I engage with the school? And I think we have so many fabulous students that want to engage with the school. And a big part of the GSGA and the clubs, as someone that is also president of a club here at CUNY SPH, the Reaper Club, if so many people want to get engaged, it's all about finding ways for people to do so. Like, it's not hard if you meet them where they are, not where you want them to be. And I think that we have a huge opportunity as a school in building, as a school that's always advancing. For example, I know most people here know that we are trying to get a new MPH concentration, for example. And so I think there's so much room to grow, so much to do. And the key to that is in our students. The key to that is to listening to people, knowing where they are, and just giving them a chance to speak, whether they are on the GSJ or not. I think everyone deserves a chance to be listened, a chance to be part of the community. And yeah, I think the last thing I will say is that I do also work at CUNY, so I do have some more connections in terms of staff and administration than most people do in terms of already knowing a lot of people at CUNY. And yeah, I am excited. Sorry if it wasn't such a planned speech. I wanted to go with how I was feeling, and I do that a lot, I guess. So that's also maybe a thing to consider when voting. Yeah, and I really appreciate everyone that's been here today.
Thank you. And we're going to have a video and then we'll wrap up with Marla.
Hi, my name is Samantha Stone, and I am in the Health Policy and Management Master's Program. I am running for Master Senator with GSGA and as Department Student Representative for the Health Policy and Management Department on the Governance Council. I want to start by thanking the GSGA for allowing me to submit this recording as I'm unable to attend the forum live. I really appreciate the opportunity to still connect with all of you and share a bit about why I'm running. I have a strong passion for leadership and service, and I've always looked for meaningful ways to contribute to and advocate for positive change. Through my experiences as a project coordinator, stage manager, and founding club member, I've had the opportunity to build valuable experience in leadership, collaboration, organization, and advocacy. I'm running because I care deeply about the student experience, especially during times of so much uncertainty and change. I'm committed to fostering a supportive and inclusive environment where every student feels heard, valued, and empowered to succeed. I know that graduate school can come with unique challenges, and I want to ensure that those challenges are met with thoughtful, meaningful solutions and a strong support system. If elected, I will work hard to amplify student voices, bring forward the concerns and needs of my peers, and make sure that those perspectives are at the heart of conversations happening at both the departmental and school-wide level. My vision for CUNY SPH is one where we continue to grow, not only as public health professionals, but as a supportive community. I look forward to working with fellow students and faculty to strengthen our programs, build connections, and promote a thriving, well-rounded student experience. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to earn your vote.
Okay, and last but not least, we have Milo.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, or I guess almost good evening. My name is Milo Ward. My pronouns are he, him, and I am running to be a student representative on the Committee for Equity and Inclusion. It's actually really interesting to me how many folks here tonight are running for that position. I think it shows how committed our student body is to equity and inclusion, which is just one of the many things I love about this school. So just to give you a little bit about me, I'm a master's student in the Department of Community Health. I'm also a Brooklyn native. I'm also proud to be like the fourth person, I think, in my family to go to CUNY. And I bring with me over 5 years of experience in and critical social thought from Mount Holyoke College, where I wrote my capstone thesis exploring the intersections of transgender identity and immigration. But my commitment to equity and inclusion started long before I came to grad school. When I was an undergraduate, I worked at a local grocery store where my transgender coworkers and I were routinely subjected to discrimination by both management and our fellow staff. And so rather than accept it, rather than lay it down, I joined with my coworkers to speak out and organize. And with the help of a local worker center, we advocated to management for better treatment and accountability. That experience showed me the power of collective action, and it was the first time I saw how advocacy could bring real change. It lit the spark that has fueled my passion for equity and justice work ever since, and that fire and passion has led me to public health. I began my career in Brooklyn, interning with an HIV prevention program that serves LGBT communities. From there, I coordinated a community coalition focused on preventing substance abuse among LGBTQ youth in Brooklyn. And now I work as a community development specialist where I help coalitions across New York City deliver prevention services. I also currently serve on the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee for the In Unity Alliance. It is a statewide professional association for addiction professionals. Through this role, I've collaborated with advocates and practitioners to address systemic inequities in the addiction services field. I've helped support diversity, equity, and inclusion focused training, contributed to inclusive policy discussions, and worked to ensure that marginalized voices are centered in statewide initiatives. This experience has also taught me how to work across sectors and perspectives to move the needle on equity and how to do it with care, humility, and a collaborative spirit. I'm running for this role because I believe equity and inclusion are not just ideals, they are essential tools for justice and public health. And here at SPH, I want to help ensure that those values remain at the center of everything that we do. If elected, I would work to uplift student voices by partnering with the Graduate Student Government Association and student clubs to create events, forums, and initiatives that reflect and honor our community's cultural richness. I also want to deepen our connections with community-based organizations throughout Harlem to help bridge the gap between SPH and the neighborhoods we serve. Most importantly, I want to make sure that our efforts around inclusion and equity are accessible to all students, whether you attend classes in person or online. No matter how you engage with SPH, you deserve to feel connected, valued, and represented. I will advocate for accessible programming, hybrid event options, and better communication so that everybody has the opportunity to participate fully in our community. Now more than ever, I think that we need public health leaders who understand that representation matters, that lived experience is expertise, and that inclusion means creating space for everyone, not just to be heard, but to be empowered. And I would be really happy to be our student representative on CEI. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That concludes everyone.
Wow, wow, wow. What a stunning, just all of you, just awesome candidates. Stunning, stunning. Thank you all. And we will open the floor. I know it's already 5 o'clock, so we're right on the dot, but I didn't know if there were any questions. I don't think we have anyone who's not a candidate or a current officer. So we may just wrap up, unless our current officers would like to just say hello. But I'm impressed that with all our technical difficulties in the beginning, that we ended right on time. And kudos to James for pulling together all the videos, and for those of you who joined us in person, for speaking so eloquently and with such passion. Your student body is going to have some tough decisions to make. I don't envy them at all. Yes, good job to everyone. And I did appreciate all the support I heard and saw, reflected in your emoji. Destiny, did you want to say a few words?
Yeah, I don't mind saying a couple of things. Good afternoon or good evening, sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Destiny McMillan Foster. I'm a second year MPH student with a concentration in community health, and I'm also one of the master senators on GSGA, and I'm also the delegate for the University Student Senate, excuse me, or USS. If you guys don't know about USS, it's essentially um, I like to think of it as student government, but for all of the CUNY schools. So some of you guys who have attended CUNY schools before may have heard of it. I would like to say it's lovely to see so many people here and are interested in it being a part of GSGA. I've definitely had a wonderful time being a part this last year. I will also say for those of you who haven't already, I'm gonna do a little promotion here. Um, we have an Instagram account, which is CUNY underscore, no, it's GSGA underscore CUNY SPH on Instagram. So if you're not following, I suggest you following. We have had a multitude of events this year in person and online because we want to make sure that we are building that community with everyone. So I would recommend, following our Instagram so you're up to date. And I think that's all I have to say. So it's nice to meet you guys and good luck. And even if you're not, I'll say this, even if you're not elected as an officer, as a student, you are still a part of GSGA. So my thing is, it doesn't just end with this. Whether you get a position or not, I highly suggest you all to continue to be a part in any way you can. So thank you.
And I think Daniela.
I just wanted to say hi, and I really appreciate the good time. I want to congratulate every one of you, whether you'll be in GSGA or not. I think it's a matter of courage, dedication, and leadership to choose to serve. It was just like this for me. 1 year ago, I didn't really know what it means, but I wanted to be involved in something much more than the academics, like AP and biostat, all of my time. And it was a great experience. I'm at the end of my program. I can say it was a great experience to learn how things work within the student body, and also to have new friends, to enjoy myself during the semester, because if you're already at CUNY, you'll know in some program like AP Biostat, most of the time the program is tough, the semester is tough. So if you have some time to enjoy yourself with some students, even in a different concentration, so it's interesting to learn from their experience as well. So your program is not the only one where people are stuck in some homework. So you find a way to make it happen and learn from others as well. So I just want to congratulate you and encourage you to keep moving forward your dream, your mission in life, and also your academic vision and your professional goals. So keep it up, and congratulations again.
Well, on that note, I am going to bring this to a close. We will be sharing the recording with the student body. There is still another 2 weeks, I think, to vote. Is that right? Is it 2 weeks? 2 full weeks? I think so. So may the best of you prevail, and as was indicated, we welcome your participation, whatever the outcome. I like that some of you have put forward to serve in multiple positions, which does increase your chances that you will serve in some capacity. But as was indicated, you are all part of the Graduate Student Government Association, and you can also join some of our clubs. And we are still looking for leaders of a few clubs. So be sure to get in touch with James, or he may reach out to you to encourage that as well. As Isabella pointed out, she's currently president of the Reproductive Health Rights and Justice Club, also referred to as the Repro Club. But we have several others, and we are looking for bright and passionate and dedicated students, just like all of you here. So with that, I'm going to wish you all a wonderful spring break. And for those who are listening to this recording, I hope that you will vote during the spring break if you haven't done so already. So again, I wish you all the best as you go into the spring break and then as you return for the rest of your semester. And I do know that some of our GSGA members are actually graduating, so I want to applaud them too as they have this final push to the end. Stay well, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good break too.
I don't, but that's okay. Take care.
Have a good night,
Have a good
everyone.
break. Take care.